Okay, so we're going to do breakfast this morning. I've got my skillet here. It's going on the stove. Let that get warmed up a little bit. I have some sausages here that I'm going to put on there. I've reduced the heat down to the minimum setting, and I will cover the pan to keep the grease down, and then I will just sit back and watch some YouTube videos for a minute and wait for it to get going, and then I'll flip it around a little bit before it's done, and then we'll put it on some buns with some cheese and call it breakfast. I'll show you how I do the dishes when we're done. If you're curious as to how I work my refrigeration in the winter, let me show you. It hasn't been above freezing for a week, but even if it gets up a few degrees over freezing, this area back here in the bottom, now this is a half a pound of hamburger that I will use next, probably this evening if I'm hungry after I eat all those sausages. And then down under here is my actual cooler in the winter. So yeah, I don't have to stock up because I'm always around grocery stores, so I don't normally get anything that would go bad that quick anyway because I can use it. But that's what I'm using right now in the winter. In the summer I was using the ice box, but hoping to get some kind of an electrical device, a small refrigerator, freezer or something at some point. I don't really like messing with the ice, but that's a very acceptable solution for the situation in the winter. Of course, it's plenty warm inside the van up here, but that's down there towards the floor. You'll always notice that I keep my drink sitting over there on top of that butter. That butter's also over there by the edge, so it'll stay cold. And the backup drinks are right up next to the door over there, so they're always cool. But yeah, that's how I'm handling refrigeration in the winter. Pretty simple. I mean, no reason to make rocket science out of something that's that easy. Yeah, I've got the buns and the cheese set up, and let's check on the sausages, see how they're doing here. I've rolled them around a couple of times already. Let's see. I like to cook my meat really slow, and pretty well. I don't want to have anything. Especially when you're dealing with pork. But I think there's about 2 more in there that I'm going to be able to eat, but I didn't want to just have to store the last 2, so I'll let that go again. Here's a quick view outside. See how it is this morning. I don't think it's going to hit 32 today. I think the high was supposed to be 28. The low last night was somewhere around 20. Not too bad, but yeah. We'll continue with this in just a moment. They look like they're about ready to be plucked off of there and put onto my plate, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you how we do the dishes. Now there's a little bit of oil in the back. I'm going to take, right now while I eat, I'm going to take and set that bit of paper towels right there in the corner and let it soak up that grease. And then I'll return to the project after I get done eating and that pan cools down a little bit. Just watching TV while I eat my breakfast. You can see the heaters on down there. Of course, I got the windows about halfway open. Our heater kicks out so well that even though it's below freezing outside, I can have the windows halfway down, and this little side window's even slung open a little bit. You get a nice, fresh, breezy, warm airflow through here. Pretty nice. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you guys the usual here. Actually watching a dark matter video for those in the atheist skeptic community. I may have discovered the perfect perch here to finish out the video on the dishes. So the pan's been sitting up there for a while, and it's been sucking up this grease right here, and it's pretty much gone. So I'm going to just take and rub this out real good to begin with. Now there's probably going to be some spots here where grease actually burnt onto this pan, and I can see them. I don't know if you'd be able to see them in the light or not. But I'm going to take this knife right here any place that I see any of that black crap, I'm just going to scratch it off. Alright, that's pretty much that. Now I'm going to take another paper towel, wipe the knife off, take all the crap that I just scraped off of it, rub it down here, get it here. While I've got this, I'll flip it over and I'll scrub on it a little bit more, get this black stuff out of it. Yeah, that goes into the garbage. I'll take this big one again. I see a couple spots I missed. I'll go ahead and hit those. And every now and then I'll go ahead and scrape down the edges on the outside of the pan, but that's pretty much it. That pan is pretty well clean as I need it to be, and then I can take it and flip it upside down and slide it up under the bed until I need to use it again. Now that I'm done doing the dishes, putting the pan up, I'll go ahead, I've wiped the stove down, and I'll take and cover the stove. And that's pretty much how the front is in just regular mode now. Everything's covered, and got, I don't know if we can see here, but yeah, I've got the water down here on the floor. The stuff that's in the corner there is to make coffee, and then the heater. There's the ice box underneath of the stove, which I'm just using for food right now, canned goods. The big propane can sits down there, and it's covered by, there's some baskets up here that have some stuff in them. Some extra things up there that I just keep covered. And then I've got my Whimsy up here on the dash. That's my first defense against, intrusion right there. That's the first thing I hand a cop if I have trouble, because they usually back off right there. They figure, hey, dude's got a nice business card, the van's in good shape. That's a little 7-Eleven trinket I picked up. They only got like 4 of those in the store. I thought they were limited enough that $7 or whatever, so I've left it up there. Now the heater, this is one of those things, a little wrinkle here. It's my buddy heater. It's been running for about, this is its 3rd year, but this is the first year I've really used it hard. And as such, the thermocouple down at the bottom, the little flame that's down there, I don't know if you can see it, but the flame hits a little piece of metal. And that little piece of metal stays hot, and that's what keeps it going. And it has worn down enough to where the flame and the metal don't match up all the time, especially if there's a little bit of breeze in here, which I like to keep. So it's needing to be replaced. And last night, it was about 2 o'clock, and it went out. It kept going out on me. And I figured out pretty quick that I could take this spatula here, and it would help keep the heat enough to the thermocouple that it wouldn't go out. So I've got a thermocouple on order from Walmart. They're like $15, but they don't have it in stock. It's one of those next day kind of things. So it's an easy thing to swap out, and the heater only cost like $80 3 years ago, and it's just been great. So some people have better luck with them than others do. I've been quite happy with mine. The main thing you have to remember is you're in a confined space, and it has to breathe just like you do. The other big thing is you have to keep enough space in the front of it, especially, that you're not going to set something on fire. You don't have. Well, the weather's definitely turned. We got snow. Started about 4 this afternoon. It's about 5:30 now. It's probably going to snow most of the night. So I'll be packing it in here and chilling out.